to the finals in this best of one on Manorhouse between Benchmark and Entropy. What a great storyline we have here. Zlatan and Delita trying to get revenge on their old lineup. And it's a great story to tell with me, Kaiserson, and by my side in virtual reality, Pencil.
All right, you are, and what a storyline we have here. I have to agree with you here. So, if anything, finals, 2x members versus former teammates. This is definitely a great story to tell. The question is, can they get revenge? Can they get that redemption? That is the question. And right now, so far, looking like a solid start for bench here. I mean, 2v3 at the moment. Bomb is already planted. So they have everything pretty much set up here. Fi actually gets a shot on Max. Max gets taken and down. So great use of the carbine here for a Fi, if anything. So pushing in, obviously playing that aggressively. No smokes, however. So it's going to be playing on aggressiveness. Zuma's the last player. Excuse me. The leader was the last player there. And I don't know. Oh, excuse me. No, Zuma is the last player as well. Can he make a run for it? Oh my god, I did not see that. I thought he was dead. And at this point, there's no point of defusing the bomb.
Time.
Oh, very well played by Uzuma there. But meanwhile, Fi has 4 tokens, now 6. So somewhat of a good, decent economy for him, obviously. So he can get some, actually, he can do some damage with that, with those 6 tokens here.
Yeah, and what I liked from Azuma there was the fact that he escaped, but he also picked up the shotgun as his primary. So he escaped with the shotgun, switched to his pistol. So when he died, eventually he only dropped the pistol instead of the shotgun. So really well played from him. And in turn, really well played in general. And I think that's the second time him running away got them a round win. Last time it was actually getting the game win.
It's so small, Kai. It's those small play that make a difference. I mean, especially when you're beginning, right? You don't want to hand them a trench gun. It doesn't matter what side you are. You obviously don't want to hand them a trench gun. But at the moment, Cordy gets taken down by Slide. So you can see how Slime just playing really slowly, trying to get a hold of Manorhouse there. Mastermind gets a nice double kill there. So damage is done by Keystar, adding insult to injury there with that frag grenade, eliminating pretty much the majority of the squad there for Benchmark. Uzuma and Max are the last 2 players remaining. Both have a frag here. Uzuma uses the frag, obviously lands nothing at the moment. Max has the smugglers also to work with. Uzuma does seem like he knows somebody is there, but obviously that is Max on the other side of the B house, slowly crawling towards the B. Hopefully he does nothing on Trench. He gets a nice headshot on Joshua himself, but Fi is there to trade. And again, Uzuma the last player, so it does look like a safe. Oh, but I spoke too soon. Keystar actually had the flag there. If anything, it had that long A covered pretty much. So very good job by Entropy here. So solid start for both teams.
Yeah, definitely. The fact that I should be able to answer back straight away, fight on the car now. We also got the shotgun on Mastermind still with the massive 2K. Just really great stuff from him, and it's going to be trouble for Benchmark to actually get back in there, especially with the economy which they have. You do see Max able to get a bar, shotgun still on Zlatan, but the Vita, he's only on a grease gun. So they're definitely scrounging up for all the coins that they're trying to do in this. And they want to go towards A, it seems like.
It definitely looks like a safe, but the leader obviously gets deleted by Keystar. There's Latin trades, but unfortunately a little bit too late there for the squad as Max also takes Joshua. So right now it's all about Cordy, Mastermind, and Fi. So the leader's the only player that gets taken down. Obviously, I believe the bomb. I heard a bomb go out. Oh, but Fi stops Uzuma. So that's a big yikes there. Obviously, 1 minute remaining, and they have control of pretty much all of the area. Daxon gets a shot on Mastermind, but could they actually go ahead and pull this off? I mean, they had the advantage there. The bomb was dropped. And so far, I mean, take a look at the way they're setting up. Obviously, they have the higher ground, so to speak. Slana will play the bomb. Now, Fi crawling towards Barnhouse here, so that's a nice skin, I might add, for the Thompson. Cordy, it's about less than 50 HP or so. So what's interesting here, I feel like Kai, I think the play needs to happen on Phi's side first, and then Cordy will push in. Definitely.
Yeah. He's trying to do his best just to try and put the focus onto him, but it's not really working, especially since Zlatan's position. But Quai taking out Zlatan and Max causes an opening, just leaving Dax alone in the smoke by covering, and he will cover his teammate well. As a retake, which looked so difficult at the start, but they somehow made it work with Quai pushing in and no one watching that spawn trench.
But I feel like it's all about Phi. Like I told you, Phi had to make that opening there, try to create that. It pretty much just they all got distracted from Barnhouse and gave Cordy the opportunity to push in and obviously work their magic, and quite the magic, I might say. I mean, like you said, and I do agree with you, it almost seemed impossible from the way it was set up there. But Cordy and Phi playing nicely, but Cordy with a grenade. Wow. What a nice grenade there by Cordy taking down Uzuma, so that's gonna slow them down a bit. Definitely
slow them down, but Daxon trying his best to answer back. Mastermind using the cover well as Phi peeks in with the car, cause some more damage. And Benchmark falling behind again, but we have seen in the last round they fell behind, and then they try to make it work, only losing at the end from a great retake from Quai and Phi. The two newest additions to Entropy.
No, I mean right now they do have. It looks like they're trying to commit towards A, but I mean look at the rotation here. I mean, clearly they're expecting them to go to A, but QWERTY is already in middle, just in case, and just like that, they're gonna be jumping on trenches. But oh, well, a nice double kill. That gets a triple kill. You should see that come. Oh my lord!
Zlatan trying his best with a scope in close range, but of course, you're not going to be a shotgun. So Quai able to get 3 kills and gave his teammate the sniper, which was Kierstar. And so far, Phi and Quai think well in this team, and they're doing a lot of damage. I think 2 players are, in fact, Quai and Phi. Joshua hasn't got a single kill yet, but when you have 2 players that are just on fire at the start, it's going to definitely boost them. Kierstar, nice shots for the smoke, able to take down Delita, and Phi on the other side getting a frag. An advantage again in favor for Entropy.
But that was perfectly executed. You saw how they slowly trying to make their way towards barn. They start a gunfight. They retreat instead of taking the long run here. They decided to cut through trenches, and Lord behold, a trench gun was waiting for them on trenches. What are the odds, right?
Perfect scenario.
Right. Perfect scenario. Absolutely. And I mean, so far, Entropy does seem to be taking control of things here on a map like Manorhouse here.
Phi, 10 kills in a row without dying now. Kierstar again chiming in, those two on fire on this one. It's all up to Zlatan. He's got 2 kills for himself as well, just running away. And I think Mastermind spotted him going into Mana. And if you're going to favor a shotgun or a Thompson, you're always going to put a shotgun as the higher bet. Timing not in Zlatan's favor, as Mastermind will get that frag. And now it's 4-1 in favor for Entropy. And they're slowly increasing their lead because these rounds have been quite slow.
I think right now, the way Entropy is playing, you can definitely feel like they want to put a stop to the to Benchmark's dream, if anything. Because again, we have to be very real about one thing, Kai. Obviously, this is my opinion, but
yeah,
these last maps that we saw Benchmark playing, they barely made it alive. I mean, they barely made it, honestly.
Yeah, in both maps.
Oh yeah, both maps. I mean, there's nothing wrong. A win is a win. Do not get me wrong, but they barely made it. I mean, when you go against a team like Entropy here, who clearly seems to be very prepared on the defensive side. Obviously, we haven't seen the offensive side yet versus Benchmark, but clearly so far they are taking advantage of these defensive rounds pretty well. Nice, you talk about nice rotations, nice retakes. I mean, they're doing everything so far. Really good.
Yeah, well, on the other side, Entropy, the only real test they had in this tournament so far was against Grandpa Gaming, where they won 13-11. The rest they steamrolled through. They beat Finmark, which is a Finnish lineup with Mark Corner, which some people might know from Endpoint. They beat them 13-4. Saying that, it does seem like Benchmark are making a fight for themselves in this round. Like Joshua able to take down Max. Daxton very sneakily able to pick up the bomb to try and get the plant down and get those tokens. But QWERTY again denying the plant and adding some disrespect to his opponent's Daxton.
I mean, at this point, this is all mind games, honestly. I mean, you're down 1-5. Obviously, you have two ex members, like you said. I mean, this is all mind games, honestly. And at this point, if they keep this up, this is not going to look good for benchmarks. I mean,
No.
again, they barely made it alive on the last map. So Entropy just looking to just set the tone and bury them at this point.
Yeah, so far Entropy's won 5 rounds in a row, losing 1, and they're looking to actually win more rounds in a row currently.
But I like the setup though. Let's talk about this for a second. I mean, the setups are really good. Obviously, they have every middle. They have A covered. They have B. I mean, they're pretty well set up. And at the moment, Benchmark can't break that setup. They really can't. I mean, Zuma's trying to make an approach here. Obviously, the bomb somewhat where it looks like it's going to be planted on B. And Max, if you take a look at Max is just patiently waiting for somebody to peek on radio on that. And I believe that's Mastermind. So Mastermind needs to be careful the way he's going to be making this play. If he jumps, it doesn't really matter at this point. It doesn't even matter. I mean, while I'm talking, everybody's just dying, making me look bad. And Fi just taking all the credit there. Taking down Max 1-6 now. So, I mean, for finals, you would think, well, it's going to be a close game. It's going to be very interesting. Talk about storylines. I mean, the storyline pretty much is Entropy just demolishing Benchmark at this point.
Yeah, and Zlatan having a tough time at it, since this is Zlatan's time to get revenge on his ex-teammates, as well as the leaders, of course. But you have to say that the defense setup is very much normal. Like, it's a normal default setup, which you normally have one person watching mid cross in case they go to A barn, and one player towards A long, and the other 3 towards B. One typically in radio, and then one B arch, and one fences. It's a typical setup, but the reason why people use this setup because it's so strong and so effective with the right players, and it's hard to counter. And Benchmark having a hard time to counter Entropy right now.
I mean, right now, take a look at Max Trave here. Max just slowly trying to see if he can make an opening on A. He has the smoke to work with, obviously, but meanwhile, his Slatin gets taken down. Uzuma trades back. So Jay himself, Joshua's just going to be rotating here. So it's a very good play at the moment, but doesn't want to leave A alone. So obviously it's understandable him going back. Meanwhile, Kia started throwing a grenade. Looks like kind of a random grenade, if even. I'm not sure if that's actually a grenade spot there. But I like the smokes here. Joshua actually taking advantage here. Controlling side perfectly. Gets a nice double kill. The leader gets Joshua with a nice trade. So now it creates an opening here for maybe a chance to secure the round. It's a 2-2 now. 5 gear stars are the last 2 players alive. Meanwhile, Fi in spawn side pretty much watching Barn, but it looks like he's going to commit on the Holiday. Misses a shot, barely. He actually challenges that and gets taken down. Kia Star with a nice double kill for the defuse. So this is looking really good. Again, something that you thought could not be possible. Again, that's another retake on A side.
Yeah, and you have to put it down back to Joshua getting that nice 2K, slowing down the attack completely, allowing his teammates to rotate for the retake situation to happen. The fact that he got 2 kills there, he shouldn't have got those 2 kills hands down. He'd even nearly taste down the lead to bring him down to about 20 HP. So Joshua, hands down, Great play from him on that A site. Alone, able to take down 2 players and slowing down the attack as he did. And he's still going to stay towards A site. It does seem like Benchmark want to go back towards it. They actually take him out early on. And this is actually going to cause rotations from Entropy, try and close that hole, which is A long. And that's the problem. If you lose your A long player, you have to close it down quickly, or otherwise Slattern is able to abuse it.
And right now, benchmark trying to it's kind of tight already, but right now Mastermind, it's almost 12 here, but nevertheless, obviously back to what matters here. The job, great job by Benchmark. Obviously, 2 scopes now could be the difference here. Definitely could be a game changer having 2 scopes, or it could go wrong on the next round. Who knows? So far, they don't have enough economy for a next round. If Phi loses, of course, they don't have enough economy. So again, this is good for Benchmark using this to their advantage. They're going to be building on a good economy. So hopefully for the next few rounds, they can bounce back until the sides are switched. Definitely.
This is interesting. We'll find did they trying to fake they went to radio. Too bad he was caught out and Azuma taking him out. A really great round from Benchmark, and I feel like Battalion is one of the games where having more than 1 scope is not going to detriment you too much, since you can play such fast pace with the scope in your hand. So it's the fact that you can have 2 primary weapons. Unlike, of course, a game like CSGO, where if you have more than 1 AWP, it can cause you problems. Like even on defense, at the start of the round, having an AWP is good, and then later on when you have to retake, it's not so good.
But not only that, but
it's much different.
Yeah, but I mean, if you talk about comparison games, keep in mind that obviously you can switch to your secondary at any point, and their secondary right now is an STG and a Thompson. So, you can switch, obviously, and you can obviously change the pace of the game depending on the situation that you are. You can just put the sniper away and use the SMGs or the rifles. Hopefully you don't die, of course, but also keep into consideration Jesus Christ, what a shot by Slattern. My God, now he's actually one shot barely. He does seem like he got a little bit excited there, but needs to be retreating. Obviously, barely making it, to be honest. I don't even know how he's alive. I suppose. Now, what I was going to say, though, Kai, is that, okay, you have 2 snipers, but this could be good or this could be bad. If they manage to get rid of the 2 snipers, this is bad. Obviously, a lot of economy wasted. Oh, yeah. They got rid of 1, and obviously, for the next round, they can use that to their advantage, obviously. So, this is looking
in a little bit of trouble with that nade there, but he will survive. But the frag from Delita even taking out on Kearstar's in a tough situation with Max on the hills, and then Delita can peek at any moment, but it's Max who does it by himself. And they will make that round win. 3 frags from the players which has scope. Of course, Delita only getting 1 kill with the scope.
And they go in for yet another 2 scope setup here.
Well, of course they are. Like Slattern having so much success towards A long, taking out Joshua twice in a row now, creating that opening to go towards A in the first place. You have to say, yes, Slattern, take the scope, keep fighting Joshua, making him sweat towards that A long, making him play a little bit more passive so he can take control of A little bit easier.
Oh, clearly, and to your point, clearly that's what they want to do. I mean, take a look at the right now the players. They're really approaching towards A. Slattern's the front man for Benchmark at the moment. So now I want to take a look at the Entropy here. So Joshua's just waiting at this point for that cross, and that gets a nice headshot there, but strafe jump shot headshot on Joshua himself. Oh, but Daxon actually gets a nutty shot there on Trenches. My goodness, that was a very good shot. Uzuma also trading back. So now it's a 2v3. So again, Benchmark leading the charge here on this round, but Phi putting a stop to the leader. So now it makes it even. So this is definitely gonna go both ways. But Uzuma being a sneaky player automatically turns it into a 2v1. So very nice job by Uzuma, if anything. This is definitely the hero of this round.
Yeah, but like you can see what the effect of killing Joshua had. You had Phi already starting rotating towards the A site. That actually allowed Daxon to sneak in and get that frag, again causing rotations. Now it's up to Kearstar. He actually almost takes down Max. making it close. Fly and Kiyosaba unable to get the frag in the end, thanks to Asuma being prone underneath Fi's vision. But you can see the intention that they had, causing multiple rotations, making your opponent second guess, is it actually an A hit or is it actually a B hit? And that's going to give you more favorable duels since people are going to be thinking that. They're not focusing on, okay, a player's pushing you.
Not only that, but right now, again, with the 2 sniper run, and it looks like they're going to be going towards A, or the snipers are split up pretty much, and I believe this is going to be the last round before the sides switch here. So, if anything, you obviously got to win these rounds as much as you can to obviously not have a long deficit. But, oh my God, you hate to see that. The leader just got deleted.
The leader is a little bit unlucky there. He got 2 tags in a row, tagging Mastermind and Fi. You hate to see it when you get tags. It was a lot worse in early access, but now the release is a little bit better. But Zuma falling. This should be the last round in favor for Entropy. These 3 players can do something about it.
The problem with those markers, though, obviously, it gets to your head. That's the problem. It gets to your head. It gets you angry. Obviously, you know, it happened. Just let it go. Focus. Now you're going on the defensive side. So obviously, you have room to rectify those little, I wouldn't say mistake, because actually it's not his fault. It was just, it's the game that obviously it does that. But, you know, now maybe you have time to rectify those little issues and mistakes on the defensive side. You're only down 3 rounds, probably could be 4 or 3, depending on how this round goes. But Strafe is the last player here, but 5 with a nice jump shot and a double kill, adding insult to injury, if anything. So you have 4 rounds to go with, but now you're in the defensive side. Now this is the golden ticket, like the golden number for them. So again, obviously it's an unfortunate situation, but just leave that in the past and focus. Now you have a great round, a great side now. So hopefully they use that to their advantage.
Yeah, and you have to say they did manage to get 4 rounds benchmark, and that's always my golden number of minimum rounds which you want to achieve to be able to have success on your axes. Now, of course, the last few maps haven't been like that, and so far you have to think of the strength which Entropy has on Fi getting that frag, as well as Quai chiming in for 1. It's scary to face this team.
At this point, it is. I mean, the thing is, obviously, they have to be mentally exhausted, obviously, with all these mistakes happening. And obviously, I'm pretty sure people in the chat are saying, you know, the leader has to be angry. But I mean, again, just keep your composure going. That's all you got to do at this point. Just hope for the best and play as a team. But it's easier said than done, obviously. And Mastermind gets a nice shot on Strafe. Meanwhile, Joshua using the bomb side to his advantage, Mastermind pulling a nice double kill there. So now it's looking tough here. But again, they can actually come back from this.
Yeah, and like they could buy a shotgun or they could eco, try and get the economy going on early. You can see the leader getting a smoke as well as the fair, trying to get those headshot advantages. Whereas Kiyosaki, he's already gone for the Garant. He's got the strongest weapon on the server right now. Minus obviously the shotguns, which some of the players have. But in long range, he has the best weapon. But Joshua taking out Snaston early on again. It's the fact that they can get these early frags on their allies so fast is going to cause problems for benchmark since they can't have the defense setup that they want to.
Well, hopefully they can make it work at the moment. Mastermind and Kiyostar go into a gunfight there. The leader gets the best out of Kiyostar. So I like what I'm seeing, though, so far. I mean, they're taking their time, which is good. Obviously, Mastermind approaching, they have everything to work with, honestly. They can actually take their time and think things through. But the leader and Bax, the last 2 players remaining. So again, you know, this is just a walk in the park for Entropy at this point.
Saying that is making it tough from the leader. And now he's in a pretty good position to watch the crossfield beat. He's got the timing on his side, and he does spot Mastermind, but that's the thing. He's also been spotted. He's maxed from the flank, he gets that frag, and now they're going to be scary of facing 2 players on both flanks.
Once the clock is ticking right now, Mac is trying to create an angle there with the M1 Garand. So, but you can clearly see how they're playing it. Obviously, they're not going to give the benefit, but Mastermind trading, so it automatically becomes a 1v1. So obviously, this is good for Max. Never mind. It's just every time I try to. Oh man, I feel bad. Honestly, at this point, I just feel bad. I mean,
10-4 for Entropy, and at the moment they're in cruise control. Mastermind able to get that 1 versus 2 using his positioning correctly. Max maybe a little bit unlucky. He was reading the angle correctly, but it was just not faster on the trigger compared to Mastermind.
Somebody call Elon Musk, because this cruise control is definitely not stopping for anybody at this point. So, but finally. Speaking of which, Line pumping the brakes there. So thank the Lord. I think, like, you know, sometimes I feel like they're actually they feel like they're actually listening to us. So for some reason, but Slime taking his time though, so this is very good. Obviously, watching these entrances, so not a very easy thing to do. Obviously, the moment you turn around, obviously, it could go very bad. But luckily, he got the first frag of the round. Cordy gets a nice shot in the middle. So now he has 2 rifles to work with here. It has not only the M1 Garand, but he has a Car 98 on scope there. Mastermind being very, very patient as well. So keep in mind though, Kai, no utilities from bench. Nothing.
And nothing left. Well, Entropy still have some smokes to play with, as well as some firepower, just leaving Zlatan in a 1 versus 3 with only Gavette, now a shotgun instead. Not really the weapons to face when you know your opponent has a Garand or unscoped car, which he will be gifted. What an upgrade from a Gavette to a shotgun to a car. Still a 1 versus 2. These good positions, you'll never expect Mastermind's position. But Mastermind just barely, well, comfortably really, consider himself lucky to get that frag.
But I mean, if anything, that was really well played. Both have some SMG, so obviously at this point, all you have to do is just create a distance. Just create that distance, and you're going to be good versus a trench gun, especially when it's a 2v1 situation. So it was pretty much impossible for him to win the round. Pretty much at this point, it was pretty much impossible. Not only that, ladies and gentlemen, but we're approaching towards the end. Just 2 more rounds for the Entropy squad here. So I'm pretty sure they're going to look to end this really fast. 5, excuse me, I said 5. 5, however, looks like they're going to go for an A push here, or I could be wrong. 5's just watching A. Probably create a...
They just looking for picks, trying to create openings. Quite almost creating an opening against Latan, but it's actually Mossmine who takes the lead in B trenches. Now they can start heading towards that B site, since they have fence control. But then again, they can also go towards A, just depending on what the frags say. And Mastermind almost taking down Daxton, and will do in the end. Creates that opening on the B site, leaving Max on his lonesome in A barn.
Match point.
Match and championship point.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is a match point for Entropy. I'm sure the leader and crew have to be a bit disappointed, but if anything, I wouldn't even feel disappointed. I mean, you made it towards the finals. You know, you pretty much you fought your way through it. You know, some pretty close matches. Obviously, you know, I honestly thought Bots was going to win it at first versus them. I mean, you saw how well they were controlling Liberation completely the majority of the time, and somehow Benchmark got away with it. And then Avenue, obviously, you know, I wouldn't feel disappointed. Obviously, it was a great run. If anything,
it was a great run. They proved that they have some fight in them, and I would say continue to try and show some more fight in this game. You may not win it, but you can definitely try and make the score look a little bit better. Hopefully they will do. And Zlatan aims to get another frag. Azuma almost taking down Kuei. It's Fai who shuts him down towards A, and they will start pushing onto the A side as Fai smokes out trenches and pushes through Axie's spawn.
So here we go. The bomb is going to be planted, and just like that, the leader is the last player remaining. Talk about a storyline. Obviously, like you said, the leader, ironically, the leader is the last player remaining for the benchmark and ex-Entropy member here. So you definitely hate to see that. Obviously, I'm sure he doesn't feel good about this situation, but oh, and some be bad mouthing there. Easiest game of the tourney. Oh, trying to get that's adding insult to injury, man. That's
That is adding insult to injury, but that is quality in a nutshell. As Entropy are your victors, Slatan and Delita could not get their revenge as Mastermind, Joshua and Kia proved that they were the stronger core and prove that they are victorious. As they are your Quick Cup champions for Tuesday. But make sure you come back for Thursday, where there is going to be another Quick Cup. I don't know if I'm still casting it. I probably am. But it's been a good run. Thank you
absolutely.
for
And
having me on. And
if
Pretzel,
you
thank you
wanna,
again.
absolutely, thank you, and thank everybody for keeping me here yet again. Guys, if you just want to see better actions in the Twitch rivals, always head out here towards the Plays GG Twitch. Definitely worth a shot. Definitely worth seeing. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we are signing out. Y'all have a good night. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting the game and the Twitch channel. Have a good night.